If you like Dungeons and Dragons, either just playing or diving into the stories, this next comic book is right up your alley. So let's roll 20 and go for it and check it out. Hello, everyone. Daniel here. Today, I am diving into a brand new comic book from Dark Horse, Dungeons and Dragons: The Fallbacks #1. This is a four-issue miniseries that brings Jaleigh Johnson's scrappy adventuring crew from the novels to the comic pages. If you like character-driven D&D stories that mix heart, chaos, and low-budget heroics, stick around. Let's unpack the creative team, the story, how all this fits in the larger D&D lore, what works, and plus some fun trivia, as well as a look at all the variant covers. So let's get into it. First up, we have the creative team for the Fallbacks #1. This is written by Greg Pak. Now, if you are following along in the channel, I recently did a review for Greg Pak's Return to Planet Hulk and realized that I have been reading Greg Pak books for about 20 years now. So I'm very happy to still see a lot of work from Greg Pak and just bringing more comic books because I feel like he's a great writer that I really appreciate. Now, this is penciled by Will Santos, inked by Edwin Alves, colored by Raul Angulo, letters by Nate Picos. The main cover is by Marguerite Savage, but the one you have right next to me is by Dan Panosian. I think Dan Panosian is just one of the best cover artists in the biz, and that's why I picked it. That's why I picked for that cover to be in the video. But we'll show you all the covers later on. So uh, this is an interesting collaboration between Dark Horse and Wizards of the Coast. Although we also recently got the Magic book about Hellsbeth, so you can see that Dark Horse and Wizards are working very close together. These are creators who know how to sell big cinematic moments while keeping the character beats at the front and center. In short, this comic follows the Fallbacks, which is the group from the novel. Tess, the rogue elf, Anson, the loyal human fighter, Catherine in the wizard, Lark, the tiefling bard. The bard's probably one of my favorite characters in this book. Baldric, the dwarf cleric, and their unusual pet Uggy. As they bumble through jobs that are too big for them but too important to ignore, issue #1 sets the tone, equal parts scrappy adventure comedy and the first sparks of a party learning how to work as a team. The series adapts all this that was included in the novel, The Fallbacks, Bound for Ruin, and reframes some scenes just for a little bit more of a punch when it comes to comic books and bringing that adaptation. So I think Greg Pak, although he does some great stuff as far as original stories, he's also really good at adapting stories. He's done a lot of work with Star Wars and a lot of other properties that are just big like that. So it makes sense that they would pick a seasoned writer like Pak to bring this to the pages of comic books. Uh, this issue opens with the aftermath of a botched job because, of course, and the Fallbacks are kind of nursing their wounds about it, arguing about the loot, scrambling to replace the lost MacGuffin. Greg Pak really leans into the character voices. Tess feels like she's pragmatic, scheming, the loud bravado of Lark, the curiosity of the other characters, and of course the bard just oozing aura. Right, I think Will Santos really sells the physical comedy as well, facial expressions, the layouts. Whether it's like a cram corridor or just uh, the morale, their physical like how they're standing and everything. There are quick set pieces. There are some fights, classic D&D monsters and encounters, smaller character moments that really show how this party kind of survives everything despite their poor planning. This issue ends with a big ominous hint at their small time problems, how they are connected to bigger threats on the horizon. So I love that they focus on the party dynamics, whether it's the emphasis on cooperation over maybe even being as competent as other parties, which is a staple D&D theme. Like when I play a D&D, I love playing the role acting part more than like focusing on how crunchy a mission can be, and just try to work our way around some of the tougher fights. Also, of course, found family because the fallbacks are a ragtag team. They're building trust, which is the emotional core of this full adventure. This is a low level adventuring, right? It feels kind of like a tier one to tier three D&D story, but it feels like the stakes are going to get a lot bigger. The danger is real, but it's not like world ending or showcasing how even smaller quests can be meaningful. And I think that's something that D&D players really appreciate, right? Not everything has to be. Sometimes the funnest sessions of D&D are when you just do like a little thing, but you have a lot of fun with your friends. And then, of course, bringing in the monsters, creatures, the little different races and different characters showing along, the comic relief, just kind of unexpected, being the anchor of the group. I really like this. I think it's a very competent book put together. Although I didn't know much about the novel itself because I don't usually dive into D&D stories, the fact that Greg Pak was behind this is what drew me to the book. But now I'm kind of in, especially now that I know that it's only a 4-issue miniseries. So I'll definitely be revisiting this once this story is complete. But I'm very much looking forward to going to my shop, picking up hopefully this cover, maybe the main cover. There's a lot of really cool covers. We'll take a look at that in a second. So um, if you're looking for a book about adventure, a book with low stakes but a fun adaptation of something that's been tried and true like D&D and even just the fallbacks, this is right up your alley. So let's go take a look at some of those variants here. As I mentioned, this is the Dan Panosian cover. This is the main cover, the Marguerite Sauvage cover, which I also really like. I just The other one feels just so much in your face about it, and like I said, I really love the work of Dan Panosian. Next, we have this really cool cover by Uzuri. I don't know much about this artist, but I really like the style. It looks like this is a connecting cover because you can see the little end here. um yeah, okay, yeah, so this is a connecting cover for sure because here's another piece. So each one of these characters is probably going to get one all throughout the run, and at the end of the story you'll be able to put all those together. This is a really cool cover by Steven Segovia. So a lot of these covers look like they're just regular covers. I don't see any ratios attached to them. And then we're back to the main Dan Panosian cover that I had at the beginning of the video. So if you're after a character first D&D story with bright humor and just really warm, beautiful art, the Fallbacks is a solid pickup. It's got heart, it's got dumb luck, which you need as a D&D player, and it leaves you wanting to see what is this underdog party, especially when the more capable party shows up. What are they going to do? It's easy for newcomers to jump in, and I think the readers may enjoy a new perspective on the story. So I really like this. It's charming, well paced, and visually very fun. Also, if you like this breakdown and this review, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, tell me in the comments what D&D party trope do you want me to cover next, or maybe another adaptation of a book. Also, what is your favorite character to play when you go and do a D&D session, or are you the one person that loves to be the GM for a fun story? um I'll go into the comments and maybe get some of that, follow up with another video. So as always, thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. And of course, I'll see you next time. Now let's roll for initiative. Bye bye.